You're listening to the Incomparables Total Party Kill podcast, in which a group of friends play Dungeons & Dragons on the internet for your amusement. This is episode number 501, recorded December 2024, posted May 2025. Throwing good hit points after bad.
Welcome back to Total Party Kill. It's me, Tony Sindelar, a Dungeon Master. I use he, him pronouns, and today we are continuing the Candlekeep Mysteries Adventure 1, Candlekeep Deconstruction. In this adventure, there is a threat to Candlekeep Library itself. That's right, instead of the normal things where like you get pulled into a book or a book sends you off on a mission, something is going on that is threatening the safety of Candlekeep Library itself. Our adventurers have reached the inner sanctum of Candlekeep Library, discovered possibly some kind of cult operation, and are exploring a tower that has the strange name of the Barn Door. Allow me to introduce our players, and then we will get back into the action. First up, it's Jason Snell. Welcome back, Jason.
Oh, thank you, Tony. It's good to be here. That was a great intro. Good job. I am playing Nis. And Nis is a lizard folk sorcerer, and I would say one of my favorite D&D characters that I've ever done. She's just, spreading the good word about lizard. What do we call it? Lizard Sorcery University, LSU. I think is where she is the head of recruitment.
Yep. There was. I did point out some possible namespace collision there.
Yeah. Nope.
You could buy a sweatshirt that said LSU, and people might make some assumptions about.
It's pretty great. And she wears a purple robe, so she just needs some little yellow adornment. Anyway, so Nis is a sorcerer. She's a lizard folk sorcerer, and very helpful, and wants to teach and spread the good word about learning to be a sorcerer.
Learning
from lizards.
From lizards. Learning from lizards. That could be a book I could write. Also joining us, it's the James Thompson. Welcome back, James.
I'm glad there's only one of me. I'm sure everybody else is. I am playing Nyasa Nightweaver, she, her, who's a high elf rogue, former troublemaker.
Only in that time continues to move forward.
I was formerly a troublemaker, and I may in the future also be a troublemaker. Who is in this adventure excited to find out if she is actually immortal, because of some time shenanigans that have gone on in the actual recording of this, but who knows? And yeah, she is quite damaged, and
in health or psychologically, or
I mean, I was leaving it vague, but yes, she's bloodied mentally.
And physically.
Also physically.
Also joining us, it's Annette Wierstra. Hi, Annette. How's it going?
I am good. I feel well rested. Valente, who I am playing, who is an elf druid and sister to Nyasa, half-sister. Or no, full sister, right?
Full sister. It was half sister in our last adventure.
That's right.
Because we're always sisters.
We're sisters all the time.
I love it.
She is not well rested and only has 12 hit points, and it has probably similar trauma happening, but is ready to go.
Yeah. Also joining us from probably not too far away from Annette, it's Nick Scott. Welcome back, Nick.
Right next door. Thank you very much, Tony. My name is Nick Scott, he, him, and I am playing Murdery, human male fighter.
And last, but certainly not least, it's Dan Morin. Hi, Dan.
Hello. Good to be back. Glad to not have been raised in whatever household spawned Valente and Nine. Because it seems like there's some lingering baggage.
It was a very pro-assassination household.
Pro-assassin family.
I am playing Cueris Spellstrummer, a bard, most recently seen before this in the town of White Sparrow. Everybody sing the song now.
There's a giant hand,
Thank you. Here we go. And doing slightly better than some of my compatriots, although I have also taken some damage. And just excited to be investigating and singing a song.
Yeah.
By the way, everybody else talked about how damaged they were, so I should get in there and mention this is at full health.
Interesting.
As a team.
I don't know what happened.
How did that happen?
So
I'm currently at 28. out of 85. So I've
Yeah,
taken a
this
bit
is
of a
bad news,
beating too.
everybody.
Yeah. So you have been exploring what is going on. There seems to be this strange tower that is the source of some trembling and earthquake-like behavior within Candlekeep. You've gone down into the basement of this tower. You have fought a bunch of robotic constructs called skitter widgets that, I mean, you beat them, so technically that went okay, but they did some hurting to you. A lot of robot biting and lightning discharging and all of that. Let's see here. 3 of our group is still kind of just standing over the wreckage of the skitter widgets, while Nis and Valente are standing just a few feet away at the end of a long, dark hallway where a giant bug has kind of emerged from the shadows. This thing is 10 feet tall. It looks like it's kind of made out of like broken glass. It's got like sword things for arms, and it looks, I mean, menacing with a capital menace. And guess what? I rolled initiative for it. You may wish to roll initiative for yourselves.
Oh,
You don't have to. You can. I can just assume
So we
that you
can
got a
choose not
0. Yeah, and you get a 0.
Okay.
If you want a number larger than 0, you should roll a die and add your initiative modifier.
16.
21.
Oh, Annette.
I might die.
Annette rolled a critical fail.
I rolled a 1, which gives me a 4.
All right.
Yay.
16.
All right. So the main thing is most people are going to go before the giant bug, except for Valente, who is one of the people
On the other
closest
side
to
of the
giant
doors.
bug.
Yeah.
So you have not really had a chance to do any. This is I did have your reroll initiative, but not a significant amount of time has passed since your fight with the skitter widgets. So let us start with what will likely be the longest part of the turn, Nyasa Nightweaver.
You only say that because I spent 15 minutes
I
at the end
only
of the
say
last
that
adventure.
because I just listened to a recording and I'm now aware of how long your turns are.
I had forgotten I had done that, but yeah, fair. Right. Well, I've got 13 hit points.
Mm-hmm.
Which
What are
is
you waiting
no.
for? Get in there.
Well, I think I have to, but fine. 1, 2.
I didn't think it would be that easy
Wow.
to go James
Dan, critical intimidation check against James.
I thought I was more of an encouragement.
An
persuasion.
encouragement.
I'm a bard.
Okay. So Nyasa, you are a good 50 feet away from the giant insect. You're about 10, 15 feet behind your friends, and it looks like you are rushing forward toward danger.
I mean, as I stated previously, I'm trying to find out if I'm actually immortal. So, James is trying to find out. Nyasa has no idea.
James, let me cue you in here. You, James, not immortal.
Well, I want to see evidence.
Yeah, we don't know that for sure, Dan.
Yes. Okay, I have run to the front,
Mm-hmm.
and I think
And past the front, I'll just point out on this map here.
Well, I am now the front.
You are now the front. What was the front is 15 feet behind you.
Yes. It's one of those everyone behind, everyone to volunteer steps back. And
I like this idea. James, this is completely different than how you played your character for several adventures, but I like that perhaps, there's a little bit of when your sister is in the adventure, you are not as greedy, self-serving, cowardly as you perhaps are want to be.
as my character.
Oh yeah, your character, which is totally different from you.
Mm-hmm. Is Valente a calming effect on Nyasa?
I don't know.
I think so. It's like since we had this, big reuniting and discussed
Stole a
all our
spa.
family trauma,
And stole a spot together.
Mm-hmm.
This is why James's turns take so long.
Yes, because we have to talk about how the spa is doing.
Yeah.
Shall we tell you about some of the new things that were
Small
introduced?
business check.
And that's how Nyasa gets killed by a giant bug.
The side tangent about how long the turn is lasting does not seem to do anything to affect the turn length.
No, there's no shame. No shame.
Merely encourages me.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Actually, my firebolt had a range of 120 feet, so I didn't actually need to do this
didn't need to do
whatsoever. But whatever.
Looks
okay,
cool.
I will attempt to hit giant bug with fire. Because
Okay.
I assume bugs do not like fire. And
This is a firebug.
does a 21 hit a bug?
All right, you let off a firebolt. Roll damage.
That is 8 plus 5. That is 13.
Your firebolt rushes through the giant insect, and you see kind of an explosion as the firebolt splashes on the far wall beyond the bug.
Well, bad news, people. Fire doesn't seem to do anything. Or
I
fire
was-
went through the bug.
Roll perception. Nyasa.
Okay. That is a 19.
I mean, you saw the bolt like hit the thing in the thorax and then exit the other side. This is inconsistent with traditional bug behavior.
And physics.
Yeah.
This bug does not obey the laws of fire.
Robot bug.
I think more than the laws of fire at work here. But I think that's the end of your turn.
Would Nyasa have any idea what an illusion is?
I don't know. We'll find out next time.
We live in a magic world. I would imagine so.
QRS, why don't you go next?
All right. I, as a spellcaster and bard, am very familiar with illusions.
Yes.
What would I have to roll in order to perhaps realize that this is a?
Why don't you take your action to do an investigation check? I, as a bard who is are all bards trained in arcane things or just some bards?
Many bards.
Many
They are.
bards.
I mean, they are by default a spellcasting class, so they are into.
I would
There's a
probably
lot
give
of illusion.
QRS advantage on this.
Okay, I'll roll investigation with advantage. That was pretty good. So that's going to be a 27.
All right. You feel confident that this terrifying insect creature is a harmless illusion, and that it basically has no physical properties.
Okay, I will. Everybody, settle down, says QRS, walking into the room.
Mm-hmm.
This is nothing more than a piece of arcane trickery designed to frighten us. And can I just walk up to it and like tap it in the face?
I don't know if you have enough movement to get there, but we could imagine you could throw a rock at it and see that the rock kind of like just
I'll
goes
pick up
through
a-
it, and you hear the sound of the rock clattering down the hallway.
I think this is nothing more than some sort of security system designed to frighten off intruders.
Also, it's clear that and I guess the giant insect did not react to the rock or the firebolt.
Use your brains, people. What would a giant insect even eat in this corridor? How would it live down here? Do you think there's enough of us to sustain this for however long it's been in here? It would get bored.
Well, we've tried.
There's no books to
Its
read.
entire
tried
method
fire.
of respiration could not be scaled up to this size. It's unreasonable to believe that.
Reference acknowledged.
We have tried fire and we
I
have
had
tried
forgotten
rocks.
about that episode. That was.
Are there any more elements that we can throw at it?
Kuars, it's technically your turn unless you're done.
I got a glass of water.
All right.
Also, air is everywhere, so we basically covered all our ground there.
Murdy, do you want to go next?
All right. What do I want to do? I'm just
Why are
gonna.
we still in combat is my question.
Well, there may be other threats here.
Hmm.
Plus, there are several doors, so who knows what lurks behind the menace that is doors.
I'm just gonna
Doors.
move forward and be prepared
All
for
right.
any movement that I see.
Nis.
Well, that's a good question. I am going to come up to as close as I can walk
Mm-hmm.
and perceive if there is anything else that might be hidden here where we see this illusion. Can I do that?
Okay. Give me an investigation check.
It's a 16.
You are studying this area carefully. Similar to Hueris, you are aware that this thing kind of acts in a way that is doesn't quite act like a natural creature. You feel confident, especially you're right up close to it, that this is basically some variation of an illusion spell, and that it is basically programmed here as a security system to scare off people with its visual presence. Does not see, other than the things you see, there's 2 doors to the south, 1 door to the north, and the hallway dead ends beyond. You don't see anything else that is here. The image of the bug does not appear to be obscuring or blocking anything else.
So it's really just about the doors. Okay.
Yeah. As you are thinking about that, the bug kind of rears up and hisses and moves forward 10 feet, kind of swinging its horrible sword-like arms, aggressively in a way that would be real scary.
Okay. Was that my action? My investigation was my action? Okay, then I'm done.
Investigation was your action.
I do not react to the bug. Other than to
Valente, do you
I
want to do
attempt to
anything?
admire the quality of the illusion spell.
You don't
It's
see an
okay.
illusion like this every day.
I want to take some notes for my illusion professor.
Okay. It
Back at
does
LSU.
suggest to you that someone down here must be a magic user of some capability in order to set this up.
Great, done.
Valente?
I am going to walk up to this first door and listen at the door. Can I hear anything?
All right. You head to the first door down the hallway. It faces south. It's a big, heavy-duty kind of iron door. As you listen at it, the door is kind of cold to the touch, because you're in a basement, and you don't hear anything beyond.
Can I try it? Is it locked?
I think that this door is unlocked. You want to open it?
I want to open it just a smidge.
Just a little bit?
Just a
scooch?
smidge. Take a kind of peek in it.
All right. You peek into this room, and this appears to be a room set up as a forge. There's a bunch of kind of tables set up as workstations for smiths to work on things, and there's a big forge at the back of the room. And looking around, there's a lot of tools, and there's kind of protective gear for people working with hot metal, and there's lots of bits of metal things. It looks like hard to say. Somebody has been building things, possibly things that are big and made out of lots of parts. It kind of, in fact, give me a quick free investigation check there, Valente.
I have +7 on that. 21.
You notice some similarities between some of the stuff that's scattered around this room and those weird tubes that were kind of sticking out of the ceiling of the first basement room, that the ones that were kind of just spewing out hot embers.
So I relay this information to my companions and suggest, I don't know if we want to go in here. I don't know if we have time to take a short rest to recover a little bit, because some of us won't take another hit.
I'm going to say that you're out of combat. At this point, the giant bug kind of slowly, menacingly moves down the hallway in your direction, and it just passes through Nis, and it hisses and waves at things, but it does not actually have the ability to physically interact with you at all. Kind of animatronic style. So you're in the basement of the barn door. You've discovered a forge or 2 as yet unopened doors. You are badly hurt, or some of you are that are not Nis.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you will do next.
I am going to go to this door and see if I can hear anything on the other side.
It is quiet.
Okay, then I open the door and I have a look.
All right. Nyasa opens the door to the north, the second door down the hall. There's a tiny dark room in here. It's also empty and unoccupied. This room is significantly smaller than the forge, and there's kind of only one thing in this room. In the middle of this room, there is you see like a stone circle that looks like a well, and there is a lever on the wall just beyond the well.
I pull the lever.
You're nowhere. You're not near the lever. You're going over the lever. What are you doing?
You go into the room and pull the lever?
I go into the room and pull it. We're out of combat.
All right. Do you want to look in the well before you walk past the well to the lever?
Okay, fine.
No, you don't.
Okay, I look in the well just out of curiosity.
Nyasa is very just lever focused.
Show me a button or a lever.
From a pure role-playing standpoint, Nis is going to kind of go to the doorway and look in just to keep an eye on Nyasa.
As I am attacked by 100 skitterwood.
Immolated by a flame coming out of a well.
Nyasa to die and no one else to know about it, and then you have to spend like 2 hours looking for Nyasa's remains.
That's a serious Scott McNulty disease, the campaign
it's a real,
problem.
hey, what you doing there, bud, kind of thing. But we do need to investigate these rooms, so I'm just going to keep an eye on this room now.
I just say, tell my story and pull it.
All right, Nyasa, as you cross the room...
She died as she lived.
Pulling leverlessly. Wait, you pass the lever is set into the wall right next to this what looks like a well, but as you pass near the well, you can't help but hear a strange sound that you don't usually associate with wells. There's like kind of a bubbling noise coming from the well, and right next to that well, as mentioned, there's a big iron lever jutting out of the wall, and it's like it's kind of in the up position at a jaunty 45-degree angle, as if begging to be pulled down into the down position.
I mean, how could I refuse such an obvious large lever?
All right, and so you pull the lever. I am powerless to stop you. You hear the sound of kind of rushing of liquid. Mm-hmm. Is it the sound of blood in your own ears? Is it the sound of air moving out of this chamber? Or is it the sound of something happening in the well? It's the last one. Something's happening in the well.
Okay. Is it something that I can perceive with my eyes?
Would you like to look in the well?
Unless it's full of skitter widgets, then
you wouldn't know until you did look in the well, though. Which eye are you using to look in the well?
I'm going to use both eyes.
Both? Ooh, stereo vision, fancy.
Got to get depth in a well.
I'm going to look into the abyss and see what I see.
All right. Looking into the well, you can see it's a well, so it's a dark, deep shaft. And looking down about 20 feet below the surface of this room, and lowering in level, it looks like this well contained corrosive acid that, by having flipped the lever, is draining out of the well. And in fact, you can already see some like metallic wreckage that was perhaps underneath the acid poking to the surface. Except it's all like sizzling and scored and maybe it's really shiny. I don't know what happens when you put a bunch of scrap metal in acid, but that's what's happening here. But shiny. The acid is draining out of the well, presumably to somewhere lower, not
there's
not into your
sense
room.
That the acid is going to come back up again.
No.
Okay.
Yep.
Maybe if you pulled the lever again.
Well.
Well.
20 feet down, you say?
Well, that's where the level of the acid is. The bottom of the well is presumably below that.
Okay.
Acid, empty shaft, you.
And shiny metal.
Shiny metal in the acid. Mm-hmm. Less and less acid with each passing moment.
Okay, I might wait. Might wait a little bit before I go down.
All right. Nyasa is watching a well empty. Let's check in with what other people are doing while that happens.
Did we ever search the remains of the?
Sure didn't. You got real distracted by a giant
No.
illusory bug.
All right. I'm gonna go back into the main. Into the tower there.
Yep.
And search those destroyed.
Skitter
One
witches.
suggestion before we also scatter
Nope, you're real
ourselves to four
scattering.
winds. Many of us are near death.
Yeah, I know. No
Would
one. No
anybody
one
like
seemed.
to take a second here.
No one
or-
seemed phased by that at all.
Annette
Annette mentioned it, and nobody else was like, eh.
There's an empty chamber. We could do a short rest.
I think we should check out this last room.
Yep.
And make sure there's not like a horde of people waiting to jump us.
Mm-hmm.
And then if so, let's perhaps tend to our wounds.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But we are we on a clock? I mean, we know they're trying to get this launch sequence
You
underway,
hear
so I don't think we can necessarily
kind of
take
a synthetic voice suddenly crackle on a PA system that you were not even.
How convenient.
Oh, nice.
This is the kind of dungeon mastering experience I offer to you, vermin.
Just in time dungeon master.
Yeah, just in time. You hear the crackle of a PA system, and a strange voice calls out, says, "Moo! Launch is going to happen in 15 minutes if you, whether you find my ring or not. So get moving."
Was that 15 minutes or 50 minutes?
15.
Doesn't matter. Either way, it's not
Either
long
way,
enough to
it's
take a
not
short
enough
Short
time.
rest. Okay, no rest.
Stonky out. Moo! And the PA system crackles off.
Boy, don't like that guy.
Stonky.
I do have some healing spells I can toss around, but I am a little low on spell slots, so anything I use there is going to come out of
I need to leap into
do
some
stuff
acid
later.
first.
Who else has? I mean,
No,
it's
you don't
I have
need to do
healing-
that.
Yes, you don't.
choosing
healers.
to do that.
Healers should heal now.
I have healing words.
Healers should
At
heal.
Healers heal.
Heal yourself before healing others.
And you do
I
have
believe me.
2 out of 5 of you are healers. So.
Giving Nyasa more hit points feels like throwing good hit
Yeah, it
points
does,
out.
right?
I'm the damage dealer here, apparently. So.
And the damage taker, apparently.
I took that for everyone else.
Okay.
Nis listens. Nis listens at this door while the
Nis
healing is
listens
going
at the
on.
door. Give me a perception check, Nis.
11.
You don't hear anything on the other side of that sturdy iron door.
Okay, I will try to carefully. Well, I'm going to wait and look back and see if people are maybe healing, because they should maybe do that.
That doesn't apply
I
to you. You're like, I'm going to go solve this adventure. while you people heal.
I'm doing some healing right as we
Okay,
speak.
great.
I would say that
Yeah,
there's
I'm
been
gonna-
nothing behind 2 doors.
I'm going to.
I just
Well, that
suspect
means that there'll be
gonna
nothing
something
behind this
like
door
that.
too. This is a
Hall?
completely abandoned level, and I try to
statistically, this door also.
I tried to quietly crack open this door.
All right, that quietly means you might want to be doing a stealth check. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, I guess so, and it's bad. 5.
Oh, 5.
I
all
throw
right.
open the door. It's this
You
time.
stealthily open the door that unfortunately, you're doing it real quickly, and then it squeaks as if it has not been well
It's fallen
maintained.
off the edge.
And you are looking into
See,
a
Thank God I
workshop.
just cast that healing.
Glad
A
for your
crowded workshop for look on the bright side, it's a well lit workshop. There's all kinds of workstations. It looks like it looks like specifically this might be where skitter widgets are made. There are a bunch of stone tables with all kinds of half built skitter widgets. And there's a lot of stacks of components and parts of skitter widgets on the tables and the floors. But kind of moving around this room on their hands and knees, crawling around, very focused on the floor, are three individuals in those, at this point you've seen before, those cult jumpsuits. There are specifically a halfling, a dragonborn, and a human, and accompanying them are 3 skitter widgets. There is a door on the far side of this workshop leading south. And I think based on your stealth roll, the nearest cultist kind of looks up at you from where he is on the floor.
question, Tony, before
Mm.
anything happens here.
Yeah.
Were we out of combat, or were we supposedly still moving in combat?
No, you were out of combat.
in initiative. Okay. Because there had been a moment where I was going to head over to the door nest, but stuff sort of got away from us, so I'm not sure.
When you say
if that
stuff,
means-
you mean Jason?
Yeah.
I mean, well, and
Goodness.
there was some discussion of healing as people were pulling levers and stuff. So
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think's happening?
I mean, did you use your healing word on?
I did, which is just a bonus action. I'm going to say I was at least part of the way across the floor to where Nis was going.
And you healed somebody?
I healed myself.
I
because
healed myself.
I'm no dummy.
Okay, I can't
Somewhat.
heal.
Nyasa,
Yeah,
you were
well,
very...
you were off pulling levers.
Yeah, you're off pulling levers and watching acid
I'm not
train.
going to sit here and just give you hit points as you're pulling levers.
Yeah.
And Murdy needs a bit of healing too.
You want to come over and hang out with the rest of the crew? We'll talk healing.
All right.
I
I can give you.
just need to wait for this to drain, and I'll be there in a second.
You know what, James? This is the equivalent of like when you get your hand up in the vending machine and you got a hold on that candy bar.
The candy bar is made of acid.
I'm not leaving without some shiny metal. Worst case, I can push a skittle
Do I
widget
get
in
to,
this thing and pull the lever.
Murdy, that was 7 points of healing for you, and I'm pressing another one.
Excellent. Thank you.
Nis, what are you asking?
Plus 6.
I'm asking if do I have enough of the drop on them to, for example, cast a spell right now?
I'll say yeah.
Okay.
Mainly
well, I'm gonna-
because you're hosed otherwise.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Oh, this is great. So, 20-foot
I'm going to ask you all to
sphere.
re-roll initiative if you don't mind, since you're no longer afraid
Okay.
of a spectral. And at
Well-
this point, the spectral giant insect has reverted back to its the front of the back of the hallway. It is,
Okay, new initiative rolls then.
yeah. But we'll assume
Are we
we're
all
basically-
rolling initiative, or
You're all rolling
Just-
initiative.
okay?
But I get a first go.
Nis is getting I want to, for the record, a very generous surprise.
Thank
round
you.
Here.
Thank you.
So
I mean,
generous.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I think that her rationale is going to be like, obviously, if she gets found out, she's going to immediately react with a thing.
Yeah,
to
and I'm
protect herself,
basically
right?
so. The cultists are all crawling around on the floor, so I feel like that basically puts them at a disadvantage for leaping into action, right? Like they
Okay.
literally have to stand up before they can murder
Great.
you. So that's why
Love
you're
it.
getting a surprise round.
Love it. All right.
So what's happening on the surprise round on this?
Oh yeah, I was waiting.
You were
for,
drawing
waiting
circles
for the turn order, but I don't need to wait for the turn order. We can
No.
go right now.
Don't wait for the translation.
Yeah. Well, Tony, I'm glad you asked because this entire room fills with whirling air.
Whirling air, you say?
Centered on the center of the room. Every creature in the sphere of 20 feet radius, which is this entire room, must, when it appears, which is now, must succeed on a strength saving throw.
Okay. Let's see here.
16 DC.
16 DC. I'm going to do skitter widgets first. So to remind you, skitter widgets are these kind of robot, half dog, half cockroachy looking deals. They're a little strange. They're a construct. They are hardy because they're robotic construct. So this is going to be skitter widgets, and I'm gonna work top to bottom. So top row there is skitter widget 1, skitter widget 2, and skitter widget 3. So strength check, skitter widget 1, 19.
Okay.
Skitter widget 2, 10 is a fail.
That'll take
And
damage.
Skitter widget 3, 7 is a big fail. So
Right.
what happens to 2 and 3?
They take 2d6 damage.
Okay. Do you want to roll that?
That is bludgeoning damage.
Yep.
So 6 damage.
Okay.
And then
and let me apply that.
our non-robotic friends. This is Storm Sphere, by the way. This spell.
Oh, that's a good one.
You see that blue sphere I've
It doesn't
drawn?
like a good sphere of storms.
All right.
Mhm.
Now I need to roll it for our cultist associates, right?
Yes.
Now I will tell you, cultists are not as
Not
strong
strong?
as robotic constructs.
We did incinerate some of them fairly easily.
These do look like tougher than your these cultists are not armed with brooms. But they are still, they're not robots. Let's see here.
We know nothing of these robots of which you speak.
I think that's an elvish word.
In order here, a 4, a 1, and a 16. 16 good enough?
It is DC 16.
So 16's a success, but a 4 and a 1
All right.
are
Do you want me
real
to
bad.
roll new damage, or do you want to just take
No,
the 6
we'll just take
damage?
the same.
Okay.
We'll take the 6 damage.
All right.
Do they take half damage
Some-
for the ones
They
that's...
do not. The ones who failed
Huh.
do not take half damage. However, there's more.
Oh.
So
But wait.
this
There's more.
entire room is now difficult terrain,
Mm-hmm.
and they let's see. I think you have advantage. Well, let's see. Until the spell ends, you can use a bonus action on each of your turns to cause a bolt of lightning to leap from the center and attack those guys. Okay, I get to attack.
There was something that I did to skitter widgets that powered them up.
Don't
Yeah,
hit the
I
skitter
believe-
widgets with
all
lightning.
right.
Nis,
And
We learned
Nis,
that last
you
time.
know from your
Yes.
previous encounter that happened in real
Yes.
time 16 months ago.
but there's
in
those
game
regular
time, minutes
guys
ago.
I can lightning
Yeah.
with this
Lightning
as I
will
wish.
heal skitter widget. It will
Yeah,
not
I'm
heal
not
cultists.
gonna do that. And they took bludgeoning damage for the creation of the sphere. They
Yeah.
have disadvantage on perception checks, and that's it. So difficult terrain.
All right. So you
And I'm
cast
going
a spell.
to. And,
Do you want to
and
move?
I do. I do. It's funny
Close
that
the
you
door.
funny that you
Lock
mentioned
the
that,
door.
Tony.
Can we lock the door?
Because now, if it's a concentration spell and it's in there, do I have to see it?
I don't think so.
I don't
you
think
just
so.
start
It's
concentrating.
Yeah, so I'm going to slam the door shut. Shout to my companions that there's 3 skitter widgets and 3 cultists in there, and back up a little bit.
All
Because
right.
they're gonna, and I said, and they're gonna want to come out because there's a storm sphere in there now. So everybody knows that we bottled them up. They're not gonna want to stay there, and they're gonna come out that door.
Mhm.
Can we lock the door?
This door, I feel like everyone thinks that there's like an easy way to lock doors, and there's not.
We press the button,
Oh,
but
Oh,
probably
fire.
not from the outside on this one.
Yeah.
So I just slam it closed and step back.
All right, you slam it closed and step back across the hallway.
That was
the
fun.
skitter widgets rolled real well on their initiative, so they are going to go next. So what happens to a skitter widget starting its turn in a storm sphere?
Starting
Anything?
its turn in a storm sphere, I think nothing other than it's difficult terrain.
All right, it's difficult terrain. So I'm thinking about this northernmost skitter widget here, and it is 5, 10, 15 feet away from the door, which if it's difficult terrain, it treats like 30 feet, right?
Right.
So this skitter widget is going to get to the door. You don't know that, but you do see a skitter widget open the door, which I think is
Okay.
probably one of those really unsettling kind of Jurassic
It's
Park
not like
moments.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah, where the skitter widget's like horrible kind of like hook
Well, it just has to.
scythe hand like opens the door.
I think it
you
just
know?
bumps it
It's just like
with
watching
its
my
face.
toddler open a door.
I mean, just
Yeah,
like boom, it's open.
All right. Thankfully, yeah, this door opens out. Thanks, Jason. That'll be relevant later.
All
So
D&D
the-
doors open both ways. What are you talking about?
Yeah. So that skitter widget has taken one action to get there, and I think it's just going to take another action to attack you, or not to attack you, to aggressively move in your direction.
Okay.
Because you are an intruder. It does not have a ranged attack, so I think it's going to rush forward and be basically in your face.
In my face. Okay.
In your face.
Sweet.
This skitter widget is going to do something similar, so it takes him 10 feet of movement to get there, 20 feet of movement to get there, 30 feet of movement, and he's still not at the doorway,
Like it.
40 feet, 45, 50, 55. Closed with QRS, but not able to do anything because it took 2 actions to get there. Skitter Widget at the way back of the room. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 is in the doorway with 2 move actions. So super locked down.
Love it.
Now the cultists were all kind of crawling around on their hands and knees. Kind of, I don't know if you had any idea why that was happening, but you know what that means? Means they've got to use half their move action to stand up. So they stand up.
So they can only move like 5 feet then.
Well, they stand up, and then they have 15 feet of movement left.
But half of that is 5. It rounds down.
Yeah. So they like
move a square.
They move like a square, and they're like, "Why are we in this wind tunnel?"
You know what you did.
I think that they are kind of confused and demoralized by all this. So I think that's basically what happens for them. Do any of them? They are going to use their second action. These cultists, these are higher level cultists than broom wielders we experienced before. These cultists have magic capabilities. They are all going to cast Shield of Faith on themselves to increase their armor class.
Okay.
Because this is bad for them.
Tactically, this is real bad for us.
Is it? Well,
it's not great.
It's not great.
This is a reminder that these guys suck. By which I mean the Skitter Widgets are bad. So we should be, as much as we can, and I know the trick is that Nis and I are both separately fighting one, but we should focus fire on them as much as possible to get them out of the fight so they don't stun anybody, because that will be super bad.
Those guys, it's true. The guys in the
Good news,
room,
though. Our damage dealer is waiting for a pool of acid to drain, so we should be
and has
fine.
13 hit points.
Marty, you are halfway down the hallway. 2 Skitter Widgets have kind of rushed out of the room and advanced menacingly on your friends. One of them is 25 feet from you. The other one's further. The one menacing Nis is 45 feet away from you. What are you going to do, Marty?
I am going to charge. I'm going to charge this first Skitter Widget here with my great sword.
Now, I know it has been a long time in real world time, but it has been basically minutes since your fight with those 4 Skitter Widgets down the hall. You know that Skitter Widgets are tough, they are hard to hit, and they can soak a decent amount of hit points. So just a reminder of what they are capable of. They bite you, they have a tail that does lightning damage, and constructs are usually immune to things like poisoning. And you also remember that they, in fact, enjoy when people do lightning damage to them in a weird, unusual turn of events for D&D purposes.
Alrighty. So, I roll 16 to hit.
A 16 is sadly not enough. You know from the previous encounter that the armor class of a Skitter Widget is 18.
And then I get to attack again.
Okay, cool.
And I roll this time a 23.
That hits.
And then I do 10 points of damage.
All right. Whack to that Skitter Widget. You leave a big dent in its robot thorax. Anything else, Marty?
That's it for my turn.
All right. Nyasa, you are over in a side room. You hear some weird commotion happening in the out in the hallway. You look in that direction.
Shouted.
You look back at the pit of acid that's slowly draining. It looks like maybe it's about halfway empty. It's probably going to take about 30 seconds for it to drain, which is 5 rounds of combat.
Okay. I'm not gonna stand here for 5 rounds.
Which, on the plus side, if you leave for 4 rounds and come back, you won't miss anything.
All right. I will, hearing the commotion, I will come to the door.
Everything okay? Great. Going back to check out this pool of acid.
You're just watching it drain. It's like slightly more dangerous watching paint dry.
Yeah, but it's like I feel there's a prize at the bottom. Okay. People are standing next to that skitter widget, which means
you have a sneak attack.
I can sneak attack. I have no hit points, so I'm going to stay close to this door. But I can hit things, hopefully. Let's see. Psychic blades. I like those. That is a 17.
The armor class of Skitter Widget is 18.
I do not know that. However, I can do the thing that I failed to do the last time we played, and I can add a d8 to my thing for my one remaining psychic what's-it. And I believe a d8 will give at least one.
A thief,
So-
a thing for a what's it is exciting.
Yes. So I use my last
Very cheaply made Christmas special.
I use my last psionic energy die to guide this knife in a slightly better way and hit the thing. And so I will do 1d6 plus 4 and then another, what was it? 5d6. So 66 plus 4.
66 plus 4.
And I don't actually have enough d6s. I'll have to roll some multiple times. Okay. That looks good. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And another 6 is 27 plus 4, 31 damage.
All right. Now you're cooking. That Skitter Widget is bloodied or oily or whatever you want to call it.
And I could throw another one. It wouldn't do very much damage, but what the hell?
Is there a reason not to throw daggers?
I always throw daggers unless closing the door is your chosen bonus action. But that's probably unwise because I'd like somebody to heal me. I rolled a 2, so nothing is happening with that.
All right, moving on. Valenthe, you are just a little ways down the hall. You are looking in the forge when you've seen these Skitter Widgets come around the corner and attack, or well, technically they haven't attacked yet, but moved menacingly in the direction of your friends. There's one just 40 feet away from you that Murdy has attacked.
And you notice your sister's bleeding out in the corridor.
You've been bleeding out for a while, and you were bleeding out and then went off on a side trek of your
Acid
own.
adventure.
I think it's like an effect. It's like shock.
You went on this little trip to explore acid, what we sometimes call an acid trip.
I think Nyasa is most likely to go off on an acid trip.
I don't know. James's improvisation is more like acid jazz, if you ask me.
It's about the levers you don't pull.
I am going to cast Moonbeam again. That was handy the last battle. So what happens with that is you get this beam of moonlight that hovers just in the 5 feet over top of this bloodied Skitter Widget. And when a creature enters the spell area for the first time or starts its turn there, it is engulfed in ghostly flames that cause searing pain if the Skitter Widgets feel pain. And they have to make a Constitution saving throw. It gets 2d10 radiant damage on a fail save or half on a successful one.
That's a nice spell.
It is a nice spell.
All right. So nothing happens now, but it will on the Skitter Widget's
It will
turn.
when their turn starts.
And if I recall from previous time, you can move it around if you need.
I can. So I can use an action each turn to move it so it's not eating up spell slots.
This just seems like a dangerous spell to use inside. But I guess that's how magic works.
Just watch out.
Yeah.
QRs and Merdy.
Does cut a hole in the ceiling as you're moving it around, but
All right.
I don't think I can do a healing word as a bonus action. Is that something I can do at a distance?
Yeah.
Yes.
Healing word is arranged.
Okay. I throw a healing word. to Nyasa
How
for
generous.
7 points.
What's the word?
I will absolutely take that.
Yeah, what's the word?
It is
Acid.
spa.
Heal yourself.
It's 2 words.
Go to the spa.
I
of
just
the
want to
Say
point
it
out that if
slur.
No.
one of you
Acid
dies, that spa is going to be like in paperwork hell
Oh,
for
man.
forever. Like the way you
Gotta go to
structure the
probate.
business is really
we have
complicated.
proper wills. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
we're
when
monsters,
you're an
but
assassin,
we still
the first thing you
gotta
do
keep
is
your
write
will
up a
to
good
date.
will.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
what they say. When you go seeking revenge, write 2 wills.
Right to wills. That causes all kinds of issues later. 2 undated wills.
You also should not write a will for the person you are going to murder. That also has a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, if we both die, then it's someone will steal it back.
I don't think you have the deed to that spot.
We do not.
I think a
We
lot
just
of your
took it
ownership
over.
is-
We just moved in, and
Yeah.
they're all too afraid to
and then
push
you
us
left
out.
and left it in the hands of some other employees.
We have employees; they'll look after
Yeah,
it.
but they're not going to cross the
really trust them.
assassins, are they? I don't think so.
Yeah. All right. Kiwaris, you are face to mechanical jaw with a skitter widget. Your bagpipes are piping. What are you going to do?
This is a good question.
You've been thinking about it for minutes.
Tony asked the good questions.
A couple things I could do. Let me see here. Now, we know these guys have an AC of 18.
You do.
I could try to do some damage, but my bonus is only +7, so I got to roll pretty well. We don't know we know this one in front of me is bloodied.
You do know
It
that.
seems likely that if it fails that save, it might die.
Well,
No.
it took
No.
quite a lot of damage.
Yeah, you know approximately how many hit points these things have. So
Okay. So it needs a little bit more juice on it, is what we're saying.
yeah.
All right. I'm going to give it a shot. 17 is not enough to hit. That's a real bummer. It's real close.
So close.
Okay. I'm going to use my bonus action and speak some unsettling words.
Oh, no. What are they?
I look at the skitter widget and say, "You may be a construct, but you have no soul. Look inside yourself."
Listen to more acid jazz if
Skitter-
you want soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The skitter widget kind of cocks its robot head to its side, looks at you as,
As part of that, I will roll a d8 and get a 2. That 2 will be subtracted from the next saving throw it makes before the start of my next turn. So
okay.
at least, hopefully, that will help it take some damage from Valanthi's thing. Technically, I have a move, but I don't think I'm going anywhere while I'm in
You
this
don't
guy's
want to provoke a
face.
skitter widget? All right.
Okay.
This skitter widget that is a mint-condition skitter widget is in your face. There is a giant storm that you're responsible for
Yes.
across the way from you with several cultists in it getting buffeted about.
So I am going to actually attack the one that's bloodied so we can get it out of this fight. 5 darts of force emerge from my hands and fly across the room, doing 17 magic missile damage to the skitter widget that was
Wow,
bloodied.
nice. All right.
And for a bonus action, I will
Lightning bolt?
I have advantage on attacking one of the guys in the room with a lightning bolt. So let's see if I can hit them.
The lightning bolt is a bonus. That's cool.
Yeah.
Do you want to know the, I mean,
I saw them briefly.
You saw them briefly. So there is a.
I want it to be the
there's
guy
a
near the door.
There's a halfling, a dragonborn, and a human. The one near the door. The one, let's see. The one near the door did take damage. The furthest back one did not get hit.
I want it to be the guy near the door.
All right. You might even have gotten close enough that you were able to see that his name tag said pigweed on it.
Okay. Pigweed. Well,
Pigweed.
okay. So I have to attack him with my spell attack roll 23. I don't even need advantage. 23 to hit.
That'll hit.
That'll hit
a guy
Pigweed.
wearing a jumpsuit.
Well, everybody get ready because he's going to take 4d6 lightning damage.
What? And this is a bonus action?
It is part of the Storm Sphere experience. Go to Las Vegas and experience it for yourself. That's 14 damage to that guy.
All right. You can't even see him, but you see the bolt of lightning shoot out at him.
I hear a bzzz, ah!
Yeah, he screams because he's bloodied.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's it.
All right. Team Skitter Widget is next. Let us deal with the one that starts in the moonbeam. What happens to that fellow, Valente?
He takes a Constitution saving throw, and
Are you sure it's Constitution? It's not Strength.
no, it's Constitution.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
good at
Minus
Constitution
whatever
is the
the
problem.
I know,
minus 2.
that was one of the problems last time. Is
Okay.
they are good at. I'm just rereading it.
I have bad news. I rolled really well.
What about -2 though?
But
Minus two.
I said I rolled really well, not pretty good.
Oh. Sad that
I rolled.
really wasted a bunch of actions on my
You didn't waste it. You did the best
tried.
course of action given the
I
situations you
I
were
tried but
presented with.
failed.
Yeah. I rolled a 22. -2 is a 20. So, Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, and I rolled
So
real high. I rolled an 18 and he had +4. So, it's that was a great strategy unless I rolled an 18, which I did.
but
which,
they still take half damage.
Oh.
Okay.
On a moonbeam.
See?
Half a moonbeam.
Half a moonbeam. That's an acid jazz album.
So half of 13 is 6.
All right, 6. Well, the bad news is that Skitter Widget is still skittering and widgeting. So this is where you all had a really strong opening round. There was a wind storm. People have been lightning bolted. Skitter Widgets were attacked but didn't attack you. It is now. This is where the turntables turn. Because the Skitter Widgets are gonna skitter and they're gonna widget. Let's see here. Murdy, I'm gonna say that the Skitter Widget is focused on you. It's gonna make a bite attack on you. I have rolled a 15 to hit.
Nope.
That's not very good. And then it's gonna do a tail attack on you. Tail attack, I have done pretty well. The tail attack, unfortunately, is worse. 21 to hit.
Yes, that hits.
You are going to take 5 piercing damage as its horrible kind of tail stabs you in the arm, and then there's like a thrum of electricity, and 9 lightning damage discharges into your arm. So that's a total of 14 total damage.
Okay.
And you need to do a Constitution saving throw, DC 15, to not be stunned by the electricity coursing through you.
21.
You're fine. Nis, something similar is happening to you. This is a very bewildering situation because you have not been attacked by anything this entire adventure yet.
That's why I'm over here.
Robot Skitter Widget tries to bite you. 20 to hit. Yep, you're just a school administrator. You are going to take 8 piercing damage as its metal jaws clamp onto you. You are grappled by the Skitter Widget because it doesn't let go. And it's also going to try and do a tail attack on you. I don't think the tail attack is in any way affected by you being grappled. 12 is probably not going to hit.
Does not hit.
All right.
Do I need to maintain concentration now?
You do, because you took some damage.
Right.
Let us remember how concentration works in spells.
So if you take, how much damage do you take?
6.
You have to beat a 10 on a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's not so bad.
No, it scales up. If you take a ton of damage, it's harder. 10 is just the minimum.
15.
Good.
Sorry, guys in that room.
Yeah, you're like a giant robot cockroach dog is biting your arm, but you're like, I am still thinking about the wind and lightning. And that is awesome.
Focus on the wind.
Oh.
Focus on the wind.
All right. The third skitter widget clears the doorway, escaping the tempest beyond, and sees 3 potential targets. I am just going to roll a D3 here. 1 would be Nis, 2 would be Murray, 3 will be Qwaris. 1 is Nis, so it tromps across the hallway and attacks you. This is bad, given that you're the one maintaining the storm. Bite attack on you, 22 to hit.
Yep.
11 piercing damage.
Okay.
I don't think you can be grappled by more than 1 creature.
No.
And tail attack, 18 to hit.
Yep.
This is the bad one. You take 7 piercing and 13 lightning, or 20 damage total.
I don't like skitter widgets.
All right, and the sad thing, let's see. You have taken 3 types of damage, Nis, and the lightning potentially stuns you. Why don't you roll to see if you're stunned first, because that kind of makes the other stuff moot. Because if you're stunned, you can't.
So what's my thing for stun?
DC 15, a Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy, 6.
Oh, Dan, am I remembering correctly? Stunned, you can't concentrate.
I'm pretty sure that's correct.
I guess the one question might be, when does the storm drop?
It would be generally immediately.
Immediately. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Jason. Okay, next up, it is the cultist's turn, and the storm has cleared. They rush into the hallway to try and figure out what's going on. And one of them, this happens to be Pigweed. Pigweed rushes over to Qwaris. And what is he going to do? He's going to stab at you twice, Qwaris. A 17 to hit.
17 will probably hit. Sorry, I got distracted because, as it turns out, there may be differences in the 2014 and 2024 rules about whether or not incapacitation brings concentration.
Great.
Yep, we finally hit a point.
All right, 17. A dagger slices at you. You take 6 points of piercing damage. A second dagger in his other hand comes around, rolls higher. 3 points of piercing damage. That's 9 damage total.
Yeah, got it.
All right, what can my cultists who are a little bit further away do? I'm going to say that this cultist is standing in the doorway, Nis, and is going to throw daggers at you, but with disadvantage because they're far away.
But they have advantage because I'm incapacitated, so it zeroes out.
Oh, fun times. 2 daggers whiz through the air in your direction. 11 doesn't sound very impressive, but a 17 is pretty good.
Yep.
4 damage as a dagger catches you in the side.
Okay. I've taken a lot of damage now.
Yeah, how are you doing, Nis? I feel like I've said a lot of numbers in your direction.
22 out of 65.
Okay, could be worse, but could be a lot better. So,
I mean, I've taken 43 damage in the last round and a half. So, yeah.
In the last 4 seconds.
Yeah.
Yep. So, I mean, an unsustainable trajectory, clearly.
Indeed.
Yeah. Murdy, you are next. There are suddenly all kinds of, there's now chaos in this hallway. There's cultists, there's skitter widgets. Things are bad. I would say to anyone who was holding back, why are you holding back?
All right. I am just going to bash the skitter widget again. Okay. First one is... Nope. Critical fail. Excellent. Second... And a 2, so I missed that one too.
Oh boy. Nyasa Nightweaver, somewhere you hear acid bubbling, calling your name, but the sound of battle calls from a different direction.
Right. I should point out to everyone that retreat is an option.
Not for the incapacitated.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, I'm just going to go, says Nyasa. Anyone else? No, you guys busy? Y'all busy?
So,
I'm just going to go.
I understand what this next thing is going to look like.
Oh, my God.
So I am going to go 30
No one's
feet
attacking
in this.
you.
No, this is the point.
Are
I
you
can
fainting?
I can attack 60 feet. If I keep those things far enough away from me, and also next to my friends, I can keep hitting them with surprise attacks. I have 20 hit points. I cannot survive an attack.
That's fair, but you also may not have any friends left for a couple reasons.
Well, if this ends up with Nyasa in a space rocket heading into space with all of her friends, and I think her sister would come.
I just want to point out, it seems like I haven't used the rocket word, but I don't think any of you are currently in a rocket.
I'm just saying,
You
if
are
I
outside
retreat,
of it.
You
if
are
I
in a
retreat to the top of a
basement.
tower,
beneath a rocket, which I don't know a lot about rockets. Seems like the worst place to be when a rocket goes up.
which is why in the next 15 minutes we're either need to be outside or in the rocket.
Mm.
Um,
And
This is my
Nyasa is
theory.
not going to be the last one to get to either of those places.
no, she is not. So from here,
James going to James.
because I can do a surprise attack, because everybody's handily standing next to the skitter widgets, I will attempt to kill the one that is bloodied.
All right.
Should I do that? Or should I put the
No,
Kill
kill
the one
him.
that's
Kill,
bloody.
No, you need to
Kill
kill
this
things.
one that's
If you
bloody.
don't start killing things,
Yep.
always
they'll
focus
start
fire.
killing us.
Yes, okay, fair enough.
Always focus fire.
So that was a natural 20,
All
which
right.
helps. I don't actually know what happens if you roll a nat 20 on
You
with
still
the
get double the dice.
Double the
do I
dice.
get
damage?
do I get double the
Whatever dice you got, double it.
well I now need 10d6.
Okay, let me tell you. This
No,
is
12d6.
Okay, do you think that this creature has 12d6 hit points remaining?
No, but do I want to roll all the dice to find out how much damage I do?
You do. Why are we still talking about it?
Okay. Let us say for the sake of expediency that it's dead.
Okay, you don't even want to find out what. Here, hold on. I can do this for you. 9, 10, 11.
12d6 plus 4.
Nyasa does 39 damage to that skitter widget, destroying it.
Yay.
Nice.
Do you want to do anything else? Don't you have another dagger you can throw or something?
I could. It'll do like a tenth of that.
Every
I
little
don't know
bit
why we
helps.
have this
There's-
conversation every.
Yeah,
It's
what
like,
are you not
doing? Are you
gonna
them
just
a
hold it?
favor?
Are you saving
do
a
it.
dagger?
They're
Look,
magic
I-
daggers. You've got infinite of them. What are you saving it for?
The question is, can I use my bonus action to do something that's better than 1d4 damage?
Can you?
Like,
yeah.
Is
Can
there
you?
anything we
Stick
can
your
do
hand in
Can you?
pull acid?
One could. I think you are unlikely to.
Is there anything we can do to to capacitate Nis, like as players?
I don't think so.
Okay,
Unless
so we
we've got,
can't assist or do anything to
pretty
help.
good
Not from
spells.
60 feet away.
Okay.
Yeah. I would suggest
Um,
maybe that cultist guy who's already bloodied may
Yeah, okay.
may take a D4 of damage untoward.
I will see what happens.
Or at least you're loosening the jar for the next person.
That is 13.
I basically think of
Is
people as
was
jars
that, was
of
that
organs.
his cult name?
Yeah. No, his name is
Loose
Pigweed. We've
jar?
established it. We've established that his name is Pigweed.
Loose jar it is.
Pigweed.
Same thing.
Other than the fact that I realized that I have a +8 on these things, and I never added it the previous couple of rounds of attack, let us say that was a 13 plus 8, so I
You
think I probably hit it.
Roll damage on your offhand dagger.
Yeah, it's absolutely nothing. It is 1d4 plus 4. Well, it's not plus 4, it's 1d4.
Are they magic daggers? Or are they +1 daggers? Or are they just normal daggers?
They are daggers from
Psychic-
my mind.
Psychic dagger.
Oh, psychic dagger.
Because it was too hard to carry around lots of daggers, so I studied a long time to be able to do this. I got a 4, so I do
All
4
right.
damage.
Yeah.
It's 4 damage we wouldn't have done otherwise, so that's good.
Yep.
That's the stuff.
Yep. All right. I'm saying that you're done. It's Valente's turn.
Okay, I am going to move forward. I'm gonna come by my friends here.
Mhm.
And I am going to move that
Not
moonbeam over the one that's directly below Nis. Now, have we hit
Oh.
either of them?
No,
No.
one of them took some wind damage, but they are in very good, otherwise pretty good condition.
Okay, so I'll do the one
Near-mint.
right below Nis.
Yep.
So that's my action. I don't think I have a useful bonus action. Yeah, I do
All
not.
right. Putting a moonbeam
But-
symbol on that one.
Hopefully this one sucks at Constitution.
We'll find out together. Qwaris.
I think the skitter widgets are the biggest risk here, so I'm going to use
Yeah.
I'm running out of spell slots. Level 3 Dissonant Whispers on the
Ooh.
one that we just moved the moonbeam to. I whisper a discordant melody. In my head, it's just careless whisper, but discordant. And rack that skitter widget with terrible pain. It must make a wisdom saving throw.
4.
That's bad. It's going to take 3d6, which is not bad, 9. But in addition to that, it must use its reaction, if available, to move as far away from me, if possible, as far as its speed allows.
I think
Does
it
not move
rushes.
into obviously dangerous ground, but it definitely goes that way, which means if Nis does have the ability to take
Nope.
opportunity, you're
Not when
incapacitated.
incapacitated.
That's
yeah.
right.
Oh.
But it's fine. It gets them out of this combat or it gets out of a little while.
Does it leave the moonbeam though?
Yes,
Fudge. Sorry, I didn't think that one through.
that's okay. I will move it again.
I forgot that it has to move.
Yeah.
Ugh,
All
crap. That was not
right.
what
Well,
I
the skitter widget just like rushes into the corner. It passes through the giant illusory bug and like bops into the back wall of the hallway and
Yeah, and
turns
I don't
around.
think that lasts. So I think on its next turn,
Just
it can
come right
It's gonna
back.
rush back. Yeah.
Yep. Well,
Yep.
that was the big. I really don't have offensive spells, so that is the best I can do right now. My
All
other
right.
one, I only had one level 5 slot, and I used it. So, all right, I'll use a bonus action. How are we doing health wise?
Nis is hurt.
Very bad.
How's Nis doing?
I'm very bad, but I'm also incapacitated, so I kind of think you shouldn't waste your hit points on me. Because I can't do anything.
Okay. I can
except
get
take,
you up.
I mean,
if they
I
go
could take
down, but
I could take more damage, but as long as I'm incapacitated, I'm useless. So
it's not going to get you too much because it's only going to be like a few d4. So I think it's
That
probably
might
just
be
not
gonna-
worth it.
I think at this level, those are probably get people back from unconscious healing
Yeah.
things.
Yeah,
versus-
I don't think
Hmm.
that there's a lot of.
I mean, you are doing a valuable service by standing next to a skitter widget, so that's helpful.
All right. I'm trying to remember what else I have as bonus actions. Let me take a quick check to make sure there's nothing else super handy.
Yeah, everyone
Uh,
do a quick check that you're not secretly good at Dungeons and Dragons. I just forgot for that.
Does Nis get a chance to save the stunned, or is it just
No,
time
it's the
limited?
end of the skitter widget's turn. The stun wears off. Yeah.
I can give someone a bardic inspiration. It's my last one.
Mm.
I don't know if anybody is in dire need of it right now. If not, I will keep it. Just
well,
in
what
case.
is it? What is that? Is that saving throws?
It will work on a save or attack or ability check.
Well, I may have to save again. If I become incapacitated, I will then be able to be incapacitated again. Oh, I'll probably be down. Well, we'll see.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold it just in case
Just
because
hold on.
I only have one left.
Yep, hold
so-
on to it.
All right, I'm done.
I have a big
All
plan
right.
for Nissa's turn.
What is it?
Well, actually, it's funny. I looked it up, and an incapacitated person can drop prone. They can't move, but they can fall if they choose to. Nis, knowing that if she remains up, might take the effect of a skitter widget instead of having it turn on her friends, stays standing. And that's my turn.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, so you're not going to play possum.
still standing.
You're going to stand up.
Bravely.
Stand against. All right.
Teamwork.
Teamwork, health is a team
Cuaris's
resource.
eyes meet Niss's from across the room, and,
Nis
and he
can't even
realizes
see you. That they're
what
glassing
Nis
you
can't-
and
Nis-
incapacitated.
Nis can't turn
It's fine. It's
her
like there's a
neck.
mirror.
Nope.
Yeah.
Gives
So,
you
wow,
a
she's
nod,
gone,
you know.
man. She's gone. But I
Oh.
admire her fortitude and standing.
They're going to make such a nice statue to her at the university.
She's got like a rictus from being electrocuted. She's like,
Well, friends, it has been quite the fight. These skitter widgets are mean, and we haven't even really seen the full fury of these cultists who have ridiculous names as they fight their way across the workshop in your direction. What about Stonky? He must be nearby. Will they be able to stop the launch? What will be the repercussions if they are not able to do that? Who will be murdered next? For answers to questions such as these, tune in next time to Total Party Kill.
The Incomparable Podcast Network. Become a member and support this show today. theincomparable.com/members